Hello, welcome to my channel, welcome to this video. My name is Brittany, this is my channel, Be the Little Light. If you know me, you know I don't usually do collective readings in my car, but I feel like where I'm at right now, and maybe you are too, is that I'm being called to try things differently, to step out of my comfort zone and to just show up. And just to give you a little backstory about me, if you didn't know, I am a Virgo. So perfectionism is a double-edged sword for me. If it's not perfect, I don't want to do it, but I've learned the hard way that it can just result in me just not showing up and not doing things because it's not perfect enough for me. So, said all that to say, I'm choosing to show up anyways in my car, my not perfectly clean car, but I'm here because I want to show up for those who will find some resonance or some type of value in this message today. I felt very called to do a collective energy reading for the upcoming lunar eclipse. So this will be a timeless message, whether an eclipse is about to happen, whether an eclipse just passed, or whether you just found yourself on this video for whatever reason. I set the intention that there may be a message in here for you. Use your own discernment. You know what messages are for you. So do with that what you will. So I want to just get a general energy. What's just the general vibe of this collective? All right, thank you. So tapping into the moon, La Luna energy herself. For the collective, major themes I'm seeing so far are you're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. Surrender to the divine, full moon. Don't let your past hold you back, south node. So it is very interesting because at the time that I'm filming this, it is 2 days, really less than 48 hours before this prenumbral lunar eclipse. I believe it's going to be in the sign of Libra. So this is like the gibbous moon is like almost a full moon. So it's like something is almost there. You're feeling like you're on the precipice of something. And with this full moon energy, it's like just trusting, surrendering it to the divine, trusting that it's going to work out no matter what your brain is trying to conceptualize. How is it going to work out? It's something that I was tapping into before I pressed record when I was thinking ahead of time about filming this, as I was pre-tapping into the collective energy for just to get a feel. Sometimes messages will come before I press record. So what I was being shown was, and I can relate to this as well, so please let me know if you relate to this, but it's like knowing that you are on the brink of something, knowing that you are in a point, a period in your journey where you know that you are just around the corner of something being different, drastically different in your life. It's like you can feel almost this anticipation. I can equate it to when you are climbing a hill in a car or some type of vehicle, or like when you're on a roller coaster and you're going up. It's like that anticipation, that excitement, that adrenaline. It can translate into anxiety and unknown because you know that you cannot keep going. At some point, you're going to drop down, or at some point, you're going to turn the corner. And it's that unknown, it's that right before, it's that anticipatory energy that is where transformation and alchemy lies. Because it's like if you just allow yourself to go in that direction instead of trying to go against it. It's like when you're on the roller coaster, and Spirit is having me use this roller coaster analogy because I'm someone that does not enjoy roller coasters, okay? When I am in a roller coaster and I am going up that hill, I want to jump off. I know that I'm about to drop and everything in my body is like figuring out how can I exit, how can I exit, how can I exit? But I can't get off. I'm gonna have to drop. I'm gonna have to go through this experience, and I know that. And it's that anticipation, and instead of me just surrendering in that moment, which makes my anxiety spike more, is me not accepting that I'm about to drop. And that drop is representative of letting go. Surrendering to the fall. Surrendering to that which scares you, which may be the unknown, not knowing what's next. How are you going to feel? Maybe you actually will enjoy it. Maybe those falls and those loops and those turns will actually be very thrilling for you at the end. There have been times where I've gotten off roller coasters and I've been like, oh, actually I kind of had fun. But is it necessarily something I'm excited to do every time? No, because there's a lot of elements that scare me. But if I relax into it, or if I take that energy of other people who are, let's say, adrenaline junkies, who live for that fear, who love it, who love the drops, who love the dives, it's exciting, it's thrilling for them. There's a lot of people that thrive in chaos, or they thrive in just deep diving into the unknown, or they thrive in transforming in a way that they're like, I have no idea what's going to happen, but actually, like, I just want to sign up for this specifically because I don't know what's going to happen and I just want to experience it. It's like, personally, I can say I have so much admiration for adrenaline junkies because they look fear in the face. They're like, I know this is kind of like scary in my body, but I want to do it anyways. I want to dive headfirst into it. I want to bungee jump off this freaking bridge. And with a don't let your past hold you back, I feel like it's getting wrapped up in the mind games of like, well, I tried to show up this way before and I chickened out, or Spirit is reminding me that if things didn't happen a certain way in the past, it's because it wasn't time. Even though you may view it as you missed an opportunity. What's meant for you will always find you. And just because something didn't come together and align at a specific time that you may interpret as, oh, you missed the mark, you missed the train, you missed the bus, it doesn't mean that that chance won't come around again. I have noticed personally within my own life that this year, right now, in my journey, I've come up on a 3-year cycle for multiple different themes in my life. And once I realized that, I was like, wow. Like, it's not just one thing, it's multiple things. And now that things are coming full circle and it's in my awareness, I have the opportunity to ask myself, am I ready to actually take the necessary steps to push myself out of this? Giving myself grace, because now that it's in my awareness, I have a choice. And you may be putting some pressure on yourself with that as well. There may be ways in your life where you're asking yourself, when am I going to show up for myself in this way? I have been waiting for this person and that person and that person, these people, places, and things to say that I am worthy of this. But how have I been showing up for myself? Have I been speaking to myself kindly? Have I been my biggest cheerleader? Or have I been telling myself all the ways of how this might not work out? How maybe I'm not good enough to do what I desire. Maybe I don't deserve to live the life of my biggest dreams. It's okay to recognize that we're not always the kindest to ourselves, while also not guilting ourselves about that. We can let go of the guilt. Even if we didn't do something or show up in a way previously that we would have preferred, we have the chance to change things and write a different story for ourselves instead of waiting for someone else to change the story for ourselves, if that makes sense. At the bottom of the deck here, of course, we have new moon in full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. This is just going aligned with what I was saying, is that we are capable of showing up for ourselves and being like, I'm going to do things differently. And that's coming up with our whys. Why do we want to do it differently? Because I want to do this for myself. I want to prove this to myself, that I believe enough in myself to change my life, to transform my life in a way that is more of what I prefer to experience. I'm trying to figure out where do I set these cards down in here. This is hilarious. This is amazing. I love this. Okay. Let's get some more moon messages from my... I forget the name of this deck. I think it's called Moonlight Oracle, but it's a really gorgeous deck. Super gorgeous deck. Really fun deck to shuffle. La Luna, can you give us some additional messages? I just felt something flip over. No? It's also really windy. Thank you. Alright. We have Pink Quartz. Aren't these cards just so cute? Pink Quartz, love, open heart, kindness. Then we have First Quarter, take action. And we have Artemis, goddess of light, divine protector. I feel like, again, going in, it's like this overarching message of we are the divine protectors of our own hearts, of our own dreams, and of our own desires. We have been the key holders this entire time. But maybe up until now, we have been externalizing everything else and romanticizing everyone else as being our hero, as being our savior, as being the one that's going to just grab our little faces and say, you're good enough. We can grab our little faces and say, you're good enough. We can just do that by looking in the mirror. Like, what if we held ourselves in the same regards that we show up for other people? Our best friends, our loved ones, our closest people, our little furry animals. Because we are being called to come to step out of the dream state and to bring things into practicality, to bring them into physicality, because we are physical beings. And though we are connected always into the other realms and the other dimensions outside of Earth, outside of time and space, we are also physical beings. We came here to experience physicality. We came here to experience going from a thought form and bringing that, manifesting that. As the alchemist that we are, we're learning things about ourselves. We're learning our abilities to perceive things from the thought forms, to have downloads and birth them into physical manifestation. And that requires us to take action. That requires us to merge our divine feminine bringing things from the ethereal, from the heavens, merging it with our divine masculine and seeding them, rooting them, and then birthing them into this earth, into physical reality. Bottom of this deck, we have Spider Woman, she who creates from a central source. And that central source is your heart space. That's the portal of your heart. That's your connection to the all, to divinity. That's how we communicate with each other. Our telepathy is also mixed in with our heart. And from the heart space is where endless sources, endless possibility. How can we open our hearts more? How can we dream bigger? Not just dream bigger, but actually really believe it. And then watch our whole worlds change because we decided to change it for ourselves. Guides. This is some like really exciting shit. This is really exciting. I really feel it. I don't know about you guys, but like this whole week, I have been wanting to show up. I've been feeling so called to show up because I have been hiding in hermit mode. If you guys follow me on my social media, when I pop on, I'm very transparent about like, since last year that I've been going through these major transformations in my external reality. I just went into hermit mode because I just needed to be in my own space to recalibrate all the different changes in my life. And, but I'm still called to be in service to others. But I am also very much still going through, working through imposter syndrome, and not holding myself in the same regard that I hold other readers that I follow, that I find real value from. And Spirit has really been just telling me over and over every single day that there's someone that can benefit from my messages. And even if that's just one person, if one person is finding comfort in messages that I'm channeling through Spirit in the way that I find solace and comfort in other readers and other people who are not just readers, but just other people who are carrying codes. Every time I decide to not show up because I don't feel that I'm perfect enough, I'm denying someone else something because I'm letting my own ego get in the way. And that's been really hard for me to digest. It really, really has been, but I'm here. And I want to show up for you guys, and I really want to build a community here because we need each other. We do, especially people who have been on a spiritual journey. It can be very isolating, very lonely, because we're meant to be introspective at certain periods. We're meant to dive deep within the depths of ourselves. But then we also still need to experience each other. And community is the vibe. Community is where we're going. Because this is the collective. Like if you're tuning into this video, we are a part of the same collective. There's billions and cajillions of people on this planet, but only a certain amount of people tuned into this very specific frequency. Why? Because we're a part of the same collective. It's really beautiful. All right, guides. What are we focusing on? Thank you. What else? Thank you. Thank you. I didn't even have to ask. Thank you so much. Okay. So we have deprivation, appreciation, and family. When we are not showing up authentically as who we actually are, this is making me feel emotional. When we don't show up in our true essence, we are not only doing ourselves a disservice, but we are also doing others a disservice, because they don't get to experience our actual true essence. And a lot of times people can actually intuitively feel it, even if they don't consciously know. They can intuitively feel it. There's something about you that they're drawn to, but you feel all of these attachments of this, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that. And so you're scared to show up as who you are. But you need to show up as who you are, for yourself, for your family, for your friends, and for the planet. This is what we are doing here. This is the work that we are doing. Our individual work on ourselves every day, it matters. Something I say to myself every day, and it's one of the many codes of ethics that I live by, is that what you do when no one is watching, that's what matters. That's what counts. It's not the notoriety. It's not the recognition. It's doing things from a place of pure intention. It matters. I don't care what anyone on the outside says. Being a good person matters. Being kind matters. Showing up for people matters. Showing up for yourself matters. Because we really lead best by being examples. Not by preaching, not by trying to shove things in people's throats, because we can't shake people awake. That's not our job. We're not meant to do that. But when we show up and we embody our true essence, our true selves, it's a gift. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Because we feel good, and that ripples out. And other people then feel safe to then be themselves. You know, when you admire someone and you're like, I really just admire this person because they're just showing up as themselves. They don't care and they might very well hear those things in their head of, oh, I know people might think it's weird that I'm, dressed up in a little coquette outfit today, but I just wanted to do it, so I did, and I feel fabulous. And you can tell, you can see it around them, their aura, their vibe, their energy. They're in their element. It's admirable, and it inspires people. Appreciation is appreciating everything you have right now. Because no matter what your life looks like right now, I guarantee you there's at least one thing that you have right now that a past version of you, a younger version of you, wishes they could have. Now you have it. A lot of times we don't appreciate things when we get them because we're just so hyper-stimulated that we're just always on to the next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. It's like this dopamine rush. We get a package at our door and we're like, okay, and now, oh, I want to buy this too. And we're just always looking for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with material things, because this is very well saying that Spirit wants us to have the things that we want to have. And it's expanding our minds, expanding our view, but also merging that with gratitude, being thankful for the things that we do have, because when we are, then we open up more doors for ourselves. We pull ourselves out of this little tiny box we put ourselves in, and we align ourselves with more things that we want. And family. I feel like this has to do with family, resonance, collective. It's the family that we are building, the family that we know, and it's also our spirit family, community. People care about you. Even if you think no one cares about you, I guarantee someone cares about you. I care about you. I may not know your name. I may have no idea what you look like, but I care about you. And I'm not the only one. I know that I'm not. Bottom of this deck, loss. You may be at a place in your life where you feel like you're hit rock bottom. And it's okay to feel like you're at rock bottom. But even in those moments, it's still bringing gratitude back into it and saying, okay, well, if I feel like I have to start over, this is where I get to be the architect of my reality. If this is where I'm at, coming to terms, okay, I have to start over, but what can I be grateful for that I do have? I have my vision, I have my hearing, I have my body, I have this, I have that, I have something, I have $1, maybe I have a quarter, maybe I have a nickel. I have something to be appreciative of. And if I need to start over, it's probably not the first time you've done it, and you can do it again. This has been really intense, really a lot. So I want to bring some self-care messages just so we can bring this down. We can bring this down. Because it is very intense, and that's, of course, usually how the eclipse energies, the eclipse vibes are, right? It's always supercharged, very, even if right now in this moment you feel like things are stagnant, they're not going to be. They're going to pop off. The most transformative parts of my journey have always been around the eclipse. Right after the periods. And it's that double whammy energy because, eclipse always come in pairs. So we just have like the and then you have that period in between like and then you have another eclipse that's like You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Spirit, what are self-care messages? I'm gonna let's do that again, because let's not flip that many cards over. Okay, what are the self-care messages that we can offer to the collective now that we've understood what the major themes are? What are some self-care messages that we can give to our lovely, lovely collective? Spirit's like, well, I showed you the messages and you you put them back in the deck. Okay, I know. I just didn't want to read that many cards. Thank you. All right. So instead of 5, we'll do 3 cards. That's fine. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. We have release your expectations and be open to surprise. Surprise. And you know what? Hold up. Because hold on a second. Going back to this. It's keeping her. This is where we're at right now. We're rationing. We're thinking, oh, I just need to save everything I got because this is all I'm capable of doing. And Spirit is saying, actually not. You just need to shift your energy, babe. Like, what if everything works out even better than you could possibly imagine? What if you expand and you open your consciousness, your mind, your energy, your heart to experiencing more, for things to work out even better than you could have imagined? Because don't they always do when we look back? Breathe. Take some deep breaths. I know I need to be reminded to breathe all the time because I do not take full breaths. I'm always taking really shallow breaths. Breathe. Meditate if that's your vibe. Breathe. Just take a few moments to breathe. The calmer you are, the more time slows down and the easier it is to get everything done. We are in a society that's always rushing. Where are we rushing to? Yes, we all have responsibilities, 100,000%. But why are we always rushing? We are rushing to get to the future. Doesn't make any sense. Slow down. Take deeper breaths. Take more meaningful breaths. The quality of your life is determined by how you spend your time. Make sure your schedule reflects the life you want. We're speaking to me as well. Let me just say that, all right? I feel that. I 100% do. So this is saying, like, if we're not happy with our life, is our day reflecting? Is our day showing any reason why we should be expecting our dreams to come true? How are we spending our time? That goes with our actions and how we spend our time with how we're speaking things into existence, how we're speaking to ourselves. How are we using our time, and how is that reflecting the reality that we desire? Are they aligned? And if they are not, how can we align them? Merging the methodical and the practicality in with our dreams and making it possible. And at the bottom here we have calm. Calm. Peace. Calmness can come into our life. We can find those moments in our day, even if it's just for a few moments, to be calm, to be zen. And that can even just be with just us breathing, taking those few moments to close our eyes and take deep breaths. We can bring the calm into our day in the midst of all the different places that we gotta be. A breakdown is often followed by a breakthrough. Remain calm. If you feel like everything is coming down around you right now, it's a necessary rebuilding, breaking down the rubble so that you can create your foundation fresh and a stable foundation. And as I am often reminded, some of my favorite things in the universe are rainbows. And often the most beautiful, gorgeous rainbows come after a storm. That's when they tend to be the most vibrant, beautiful colors that I've ever seen. This too shall pass. And what can we look forward to? Like, what if things actually work out not only in our favor, but even better than we could possibly have imagined? So I'm going to leave that there. That feels like a good place to leave on. Thank you so much if you've watched this entire reading. I really appreciate you so much. And we got this. I will see you guys next time. Sending you so much love, gratitude, blessings.